Hello and welcome to the Kuss History Talk Show. Today we will be having Miss Precious, a freed slave, Master DJ, and a
abolitionist,
Jasmine McGill, joining us. Today we will be discussing the historical diaries. So, Precious, about the historical diaries, how do you feel about them?
Well, you see, I wrote a historical diary before I became a freed slave, and I talked about the conditions that I had to go through. I wrote about how they used to beat us, they'd whip us, they'd flog us, they'd put us on these ships with these foul odors that I'd never smelt before in my life. And then we get onto the plantations and we get sold and separated from our families. And you know, anybody can put that in textbook, but you never know until it comes from somebody's diary. And I believe that it's extremely important to know this, that historical diaries are just the main key to learning about our past. And I know my mouth's not moving, Miss Kuss, very much, but it's because my mouth doesn't move very much because I got beat when I was on the ship. So I'm very sorry about that. But my historical diary was just very important because it talks about the conditions I was in, and without our historical diaries, nobody would really know the truth about African American slaves.
Well, thank you, Miss Precious. Now let's talk to DJ, which was the master.
Master DJ, to you. Hello. My name is Master DJ. My mouth doesn't move very much either. I don't understand why, Miss Kuss, but I don't know. Anyway, so I wrote a couple diaries when I was owning some slaves and buying them, and you know, it always kept me and my family updated. And I look back today and nobody would really know what we went through owning these slaves. We had to pay for their clothing. We had to pay for the supplies to give them so they could make their clothing. We had to pay for their housing. We had to pay for everything that they do just so they can do a little work around here. And you know, it's not like we beaten them or anything, but we just got to own some slaves, because with this cotton gin invented, we have to have more slaves because we have to have this cotton gin working. The cotton gin takes the seeds out of the cotton, but then we have to have the actual people doing the labor. You know what I'm saying? And so without my historical diary, nobody would really understand why I have these slaves. And you know, it's not like they get treated bad at all. It's not like that at all. They get treated real good, you see, because in my historical diary, I state that. And I state the toughness that I have to go through to own these slaves. But anyways, that's all I have to say about it. You know, I just want to get my point across with my historical diary, because without this, people would never, ever know what we masters have to go through every day. Thank you for listening, and it's Master DJ to you.
Well, thank you, Master DJ. Now we will talk to Jasmine McGill, the abolitionist.
Hey, my name is Jasmine McGill, and I'm an abolitionist, you see. Thank you. I like the fact that, I forget what it's called. Hold on. Just kidding. I like the fact that slaves should be freed. As soon as they get freed, they should be emancipated and they should have their rights. But I also like the people who are purchasing land, purchasing the slaves and then taking them to their freedom. See, I'm an abolitionist. I am totally anti-slavery, and I write in my diary the things I do for these folks. I have barns and safe houses, and I participate in the Underground Railroad, you see. And I put them slaves there, and I save them. And I have friends that risk their lives, and they run out, and then they try and free these slaves. Like, I have one special friend, and you know who I'm talking about. I don't want to say names, but he ran out there. He took a bunch of guns, and he expected these slaves to join in with him. And these slaves didn't join in with him because there was miscommunication, you see? They never really understand what we're doing, because us white folk, they don't trust us white folk because of what the other white folk are doing to them. You know, it's in the northern and it's in the southern, and it's just not right. that I want these slaves to understand that I'm on their side. They come to me and I help them because they are humans and they have feelings. And without me writing this in my diary, nobody would really know. You see, if an abolitionist never wrote in their diary, and then people in the future never would have found it and brought me back from the dead so I could tell you my story, then nobody would know. Nobody would ever know what we had to go through to free these slaves. And most of us weren't successful. And I'm telling you what, I wasn't very successful considering I wasn't really there. But if I was there, I would have freed 100,000 slaves. And without having a historical diary, nobody would have ever known that. Because that is a primary resource. A primary resource, let me tell you. And primary resources are so very important because without them, it wouldn't really be learning in school. It wouldn't really be anything with just secondary sources. And I am so thankful for primary resources. And that concludes my video. And special thanks to Candace McGill. That's my mommy. Hi, Miss Kuss. This is Jasmine McGill right here. And I'm going to figure out how to post this. And I really hope this video posts. And I hope I did it right. But as your first video, it should be A for effort. Just kidding. I will talk to you soon.